talking toys, holiday dreams and gingerbread joys, peppermint sticks, that's their choice. Dropping the hot list of the most killer toys, talking toys. Talking toys, talking toys, talking toys, talking toys, talking toys, talking toys. Strick and MOTYL, they're just talking toys. It's the holiday cast and they're just talking toys. 'Cause Strick and MOTYL, they're still just talking toys. The Toy Talk guys are just talking toys. 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 Talking toys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toy Talk Guys podcast. I'm Strick.
And I'm MOTYL.
We're here to bring you everything happening in the world of toys. We're talking action figures, Lego, video games, and anything else that catches our eye. On today's podcast, we got a special one for you. It's our holiday cast. End of the year, MOTYL. Got that holiday cast. We got our top 10 holiday toy lists to go through. Collection updates, of course. We'll kick it off with some quick mentions. But MOTYL, before we get into it, how are we doing in this festive time of the year, my friend?
The tree is down from the attic. The candy cane's out in the yard. Happy holidays, everybody. We're so glad you're tuning in with us. If you're a return listener, we're so glad that you're continuing to tune into us. Thank you for the support. It's one of our favorite casts to do. I'm in the holiday spirit. I hope you are as well, Strick.
Dude, I am, man. Trees up, ornaments on the tree, outside's up. We're ready to go, man. We're locked and loaded. All right, let's start to get in here. Before we do, some quick housekeeping. As always, we'd love your ratings, 5-star reviews, wherever you can. Like, subscribe, do all the things, help us out. You're already listening. Why not just help us a little bit more, with one of those little nudges? It'll go a huge way for this show. I'll say that if you can give us a little review. You can send us an email to toytalkguys@gmail.com. Whatever you want to talk about. You want to share your collection update, you want to ask us a question about something, or you want us to bring us something on the show, just reach out. And you can always check out our YouTube channel, Toy Talk Guys, where you'll find this podcast, some other stuff we're doing. You can find Strick's Bricks from the Toy Talk Guys and MOTYL Selects. All right, man. Swept that under the rug real clean for the holidays. You ready to get started?
Let's open up a couple of gifts here, man.
Let's open this first boy up in quick mentions. Had to get some Lego on here in quick mentions really quick, just on the holiday season here. We got the Holiday Express train, man. This is Lego's big holiday set for the year. This is their Winter Village and their Winter Village series, which I'm a big, huge fan and collector of. Really wanted to bring this on to talk about the set. I mean, it's a cool train. We could get into that if you want. But there is a piece in here, a 3D printed piece. First ever in a Lego set that's coming out. It's a little blue train piece, if you can spot that guy. It's got some movement to it, so the wheels move. It's a little bit of a different plastic. But it's, the first time that they've released something like this, where it's like a 3D printed component that has a little bit of extra movement that they can put in there that they can't get, normally from a regular, Lego print. So just thought it was interesting, man. Have we talked about this yet? I kind of feel like I brought this up maybe when this was first announced.
Yeah, I don't know about this particular piece, but I do remember. Wasn't it like a duck on wheels or something?
Yes. That was the first non-production. So we did talk about that. Yes.
That train piece, before I even read it, definitely stuck out to me. And now that I'm reading more into it and listening to you, I'm just like, oh, that is cool. That's an achievement. So I wonder how long it'll be before Lego stops celebrating it and it's just like part of future Lego sets and we just don't even know it.
Yeah, man. That's kind of like what we're all kind of waiting around to see what else they do. It's interesting to me, or like at least I'm interested from like all right, what kind of doors does this unlock in terms of like parts that they're trying to produce now that like kind of get the job done, but now if it could be 3D printed, like maybe you can get more movement or just like, just try out different molds and stuff like that. So I'm pretty interested. A lot of the community's a little upset, like, why are they doing 3D printing components? This plastic looks like junk, and this isn't my Lego that I grew up with. So, of course, everything new is going to drive a divide. But just thought it was interesting. Worth throwing on here. And real quick, I don't want to dive into this, but it feels like it needs to be mentioned. Kind of in the same vein as the 3D printed bricks, we're also getting smart bricks in 2026. Have I talked about that at all with you, the smart brick stuff?
I believe you have, but indulge our listeners.
It's pretty much what they did with the Lego Mario series, where you place it on some kind of sensor, or you place it against another brick, and there's like a little chip inside, and it's gonna make the character make noise, or the ship, if it's inside a ship, the brick will make noise, or say catchphrases or light up or do something. So no details have really been put out there, but there's already like prices for some of the sets that include the smart bricks, and they are very expensive. Like Lego's already really expensive. I think there's an X-Wing coming out that's quoted to be like $100, and it's like a 4 and up style X-Wing. Like it's a really cheapy small build, but it's just because it includes like these smart bricks that it's so insane. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I'm kind of like intrigued, but also like expecting that to fall on its face a little bit. So it's just some stuff to look out for now in the holiday sets from Lego, and also coming soon in 2026, probably a topic for next year. We'll talk more about those smart bricks.
This train set, though, are you picking this up and putting it around the tree?
It's a good question, and we'll kind of get into this more in collection updates, what I'm planning on doing 2026 moving forward. But this is one that's on my list. I plan on picking it up this year with one of the Lego promos that's going to be available. And if it gets built this year, maybe. I have the train from a few years ago that's kind of partially built. It was built, and then my kids totally wrecked it, so now I got to put it back together. But they love that thing. They like the Lego trains. So this will join the Strick household in the near future, and it'll be not under the tree, but it'll just be for me. And that quick mention out of the way. What do you got for us?
This is a section that has become a tradition on the Toy Talk Guys Holiday Cast. We got to talk about the Hess truck being put out this year. And I know you're a buyer of the Hess truck. So the Hess truck for 2025 is not even a truck, as it sometimes is not. And this year, it is stock car racers. How about that, man? How do you feel about that?
We could get into it, having had them, but just hot take, not a huge fan of these this year. Kind of a letdown.
It's unfortunate. So for those that don't have eyes on it yet, haven't seen the commercial, it's a big stock car, as you can picture it. And then on top of that, the hood opens up and a smaller stock car pops out of the hood. But you're basically just buying 2 stock cars that are not trucks. I guess it's fine for some people. I would have preferred a truck. I'll let you all in on this. This is kind of a collection update cheat, but this year is the year that I am indulging in this, which is kind of unfortunate because I'm not a huge fan of this truck, but I am picking this up for my kids just because you go on about it every year, Strick, and I know it's a whole bunch of other people's tradition to pick up the Hess truck, and it's just one of those things where it's like, you know what? I'd love to just get in on that and see what it's all about, because that wasn't really my thing growing up. It was like other kids in the neighborhood getting it and me playing with it. So I never really had Hess trucks growing up. So I want to make sure my kids, at least have the option of getting into it. So this is on order. It's not in my possession yet, so I haven't played around with it. But man, what a year I've decided to go in on this.
Yeah, man. It's I'll say your kiddo will probably be delighted and happy. My kids love it. And I just think the stock car sitting in the stock car is just so silly and not inspiring at all, or it's just like lazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how I would describe it. It is lazy because you want there to be like some realistic aspect to it, where it's just like
exactly
that feels so cartoonish and just not practical. So that really disappoints me. Apart from the over-exaggerated like decor, I love how realistic these cars can be. And sometimes, they're outlandish. But this is like outlandish with no real benefit, just sort of like out of convenience, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like they're like, how can we get another smaller car in? Like, all right, we'll just shove it in the trunk, like, or just shove it in the under the hood, where the engine's supposed to be, but nobody will ask questions. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's for kids. Nobody cares.
Yeah, right. Like, man, it is. I'd be curious to go down the list, and like, this has got to be one of their worst ones that they've put out.
Yeah.
But like I said, my kid still loves it. We actually got 2 of them. That's become the tradition, is that my in-laws buy 2 so that they don't have to fight over it. But like my older son didn't really care for it. He's kind of like he's kind of phasing out of like the cars and trucks era of stuff, which is a little sad, but we got too many, so that's cool with me.
Gotcha.
The one thing I did want to point out is that hood popping open and close makes a noise. I actually sent it to you on video.
Yeah,
get used to that noise. If your kids are anything like my youngest, dude, it's just all day, just like just like up and down hitting that thing.
Well, what else are you supposed to do with it?
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to it, and like in comparison to the past 2 years that we've gotten, like, man, this thing just pales in comparison to those last 2 trucks. Like, those were so cool, the fire truck and then the like army tanker truck, which like in its own right was kind of silly, but yeah, this thing was like, even everybody at they got it on Thanksgiving when we went to my in-laws, but everyone there was just like, what? That's the Hess truck? Like, what do you? That's not even a truck, Like, even Grandma got the miss there.
I remember they had like sedans, like they had a police car. I remember seeing when I was a kid, and then even I remember thinking back when I was a kid, like seeing the advertisement for the one that was towing the like spacecraft. I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen as a kid. And now I'm just like, man, I'd kill for that. I'd kill for that over this.
I was just looking at that one. Yeah, I was like, oh, that one would have been sweet. Like towing the, yeah, man.
The thing is, this is for my 2-year-old, so he has no expectations going into this. So I'm sure he will still love it. And, maybe it'll wet his whistle for the Hess truck next year, because I would love to make this a tradition and be actively involved in this community rather than, be a part of the peanut gallery on this cast once a year and make fun of it. I'd rather like have it in hand and give you my personal thoughts. Underwhelming, to say the least. Upsetting. The jingle is still a jam, dude. It is still wonderful to listen to. The Hess truck's back. It might not be better than ever, but
it's back.
That jingle's timeless, and it's back.
That jingle's better than ever. That's true. We've got the top 10 holiday toy list brought to you by the Toy Talk guys. Why don't you break down how we put this thing together, man?
Oh, dude. If you've listened to any of our holiday casts before, Strick and I like to get together. We like to bust open the books, put pen to paper, and figure out just exactly what the market is saying, what other parents are saying, what the big names are saying, what Target, Walmart, Amazon, all those big players are dictating what you need to buy. Strick and I are breaking it all down for you. The top 10 holiday toys to pick up this year. And I know there's people out there that they say, man, when are you guys dropping the holiday cast this year? Because I don't start doing my holiday shopping until that cast drops, so I know exactly what to buy, because I don't want to waste my time. We narrowed it down to 5 each, and we smushed it all together into one beautiful, gorgeous, hot list. We are going to start with number 10 all the way to number 1. Number 10 being the one that you should really consider getting, and if you're trying to keep it a leaner Christmas, maybe that's the first one you don't get. But all of these toys are just hot picks. So without further ado, Strick, let's get into number 10. We got Hasbro on here. Come on, dude. FurReal. The FurReal friends. Maggie the cow. Have you heard of this one?
I have heard of this one.
Good. FurReal friends. They've been a name for since like the early 2000s. These are the fantastic action that you open up and expect from a toy on Christmas morning. The pop the batteries in and they come to life, and the whole family is enjoying it that morning, and then the extended family comes over for the Christmas lunch dinner, and they start interacting with it, and they're just like, wow, that is some impressive toy that Santa brought you. So this is not different. I feel like we have those on the cast every year, and this one is no exception. We got Maggie, the feed and follow cow. It's not alive, but it's the next best thing. Pop the batteries in, and she is walking around mooing and trying to get at that bottle. And I don't know what else you want from a cow, but that's what she's got going on. All the cow stuff you could possibly want. I know I'm being a little facetious, but I did watch a bunch of videos on this cow. It is pretty adorable. So her action is obviously like appearing alive, and one of the main parts of that is her ability to walk around like a cow. It's pretty convincing. She comes with that little baby bottle that you feed little calves, and she sips at it, and once you plug that into her mouth, she starts walking and mooing, and she walks like pretty like aggressively and firmly, and just like I'm like pretty convinced that that's a cow. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of awkward the way it works. You sort of like put the bottle in her mouth. I guess she's just like hyped up about the bottle that she starts walking, and you control the way she walks by like turning the bottle. It's a weird way to control this
that's
animal.
Interesting.
Sort of like getting at the bottle real excited, trying to get closer, and you're just like, whoa girl, like step back. And she just keeps on coming. Pretty convincing movement. Her eyes sort of like flicker and flutter a little bit, and I guess her ears move. Her mouth is made of a silicone material. For all you people with your sicko thoughts, keep them to yourself, but feeling lifelike as well to touch. There you go, man. For real, friends. Maggie, the feed and follow cow. How you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I'm curious about one thing with this cow. I will say that I think we got For Real Friends for my sons for Christmas. So they'll be under the tree. And I think we just got puppies. I think we got dogs. I'm actually shocked that my wife didn't want to pick this one up because... So this is I'm pretty sure this is what they call a Highland cow, which is like a woolly, furry, and they got the horns like that. Like it's they have them in Scotland, and in Scotland they call them coos. They call them Highland coos. And so we were there in June. We were in Scotland, and like my wife fell in love with these cows that were there, and like my sons were like, oh yeah, the Highland coos or whatever. It was just like a big thing. We got like stuffed animals of them and everything. And then we got back from vacation, and I swear, like everywhere I went, I was just like, it was like Highland cow on this shirt, and like Highland. It was just like the new sloth, basically, like just the new like hot animal that everyone's loving on is like the Highland coo or the Highland cow. And I'm like, what are the odds that we would go there and see it, and then we come back and like, and this is just cement, like firm cement on that thought of mine that it has just reached mainstream. And I'm just like, that is just such a crazy coincidence that this thing has just risen to popularity like in the same year that we were in Scotland, where I don't know if they're only from Scotland, but I know that's like one of their big animals there is the Highland coo that people go to see. Full circle of thought there when you brought this on. But other than that crazy coincidence, I'm excited to get these, like, not this one, but the dogs that we're getting. Like, I'm curious to see how they work and see if the boys like them, and see if they live up to the hype. So this is a solid number 10. I think you're spot on with the kind of be splashy and be the thing that everybody wants to open up and mess around with and play with, and like, oh, look how cute. And it's the Tickle Me Elmo. Maybe not of the year, but it's in that vein.
I will say you're obviously putting it at a handsome price here. With the one that we have linked to is currently $44, which is a handsome price for something like this. But I think you're missing the boat with it being a farm animal that it's not big enough to ride on. I think you're missing the boat there because back in the day, For Real Friends, I do remember that they put out a horse that you could ride on. I don't know if it walked around, but you could like sit on it and pretend to ride, and you could like interact with it. I was like handing like its sugar cubes or whatever you give the horses, and I'm pretty sure the name was like Butterscotch, like because I just remember the commercial like so well. That I feel like they're missing the boat here, because I feel like you can make the cow bigger, and that's just bigger the cow, bigger the fun is my idea.
I'm with you there. That does feel like a missed opportunity. If this was a ride-on, yeah, this would be very likely under my tree this year. I'm surprised it's not. I think my wife just hasn't seen it somehow, and that's why it's not under our tree.
But yeah, man, Maggie, I feel like, you know, she came in hot on these lists, so I feel like she needed to be here and had to be at least the number 10 spot. So are we moving on?
I think we're moving on to number 9.
Number 9.
The bovine. After bovine. There you go. Number 9, man. All right. Blast from the past for all you 90s, 80s kids out there. We've got Stretch Armstrong coming in at our number 9 spot, just stretching his way on in there. And he's as stretchy and awesome as ever. He's got a pretty good redesign. He's looking fresh, new, but he's still got that sweet, stretchy self. Apparently, he's been kind of retooled and reworked a little bit so that his stretch, doesn't get too stretched out. You know, it's kind of like the classic issue with them is you'd stretch him out and then he would never like kind of go back the way he should have been. So yeah, man, I think the little bit of research I did around this guy is that there's a new toy brand that's just called Stretch Armstrong, and they're just making these toys, like just different types of Stretch Armstrongs. They have like a Stitch one, but you know, this is the classic Stretch, so I had to put him on here, and he's at a pretty sweet $15 price point. Haven't picked him up for this year, but I'm thinking about it, man. I'm thinking about putting old Stretch under the tree. How you feeling on Stretch at number 9?
He's been going to the same gym that like Wreck-It Ralph has been going to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All arms. All 4 arms.
Leg day is missed. It is just always arm and chest day. That's what he does.
Arm, chest, and ab. Yeah, he's looking good with the ab, the 6-pack.
Yeah. That being said, dude, the tribal tattoo, which I understand it's the logo, but man, the tattoo, dude, that really brings it in. I like that. It ties everything together.
It's a nice little ad. I'll give you that.
So I do have not a lengthy history with Stretch Armstrong, but I had him back in the day, and I like this Stretch Armstrong. I think this is cool. Yeah, you mentioned that they made a line of them. They do have other favorites such as Vac-Man and X-Ray. Those are classic characters. X-Ray is like, I don't know how old Vac-Man is, but X-Ray goes back to like with the original Stretch Armstrong. Like that's a legacy character. Vac-Man came out like in the 90s, I'm pretty sure. But I had Vac-Man, and I much preferred him over Stretch Armstrong because just due to like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with his mechanism and how you get him to stretch, but it's different than just Stretch Armstrong that was filled with like corn syrup or whatever it was that he was filled with. Are you familiar with it?
No, not at all.
So Stretch Armstrong, my ill-fated Stretch Armstrong was, I got like the bigger one from the 90s, and I put him on top of like our board game shelf, stretched him, and then one day, like, I guess there was a rip in him, and I came downstairs into the basement to like get a board game, and there was just goop everywhere on all these board games, just dripping down like icicles or whatever. And I was like, what is this? What happened? And yeah, he had just like exploded like overnight. But Vac-Man, he was different. He was like, the skin was the same, but instead of like all the goop and sticky stuff inside, he was filled with like pellets or whatever. And then you had like a suction pump on that you put on the top of his head, and you pumped out all the air. You sucked everything out. So then it would be like a vacuum inside of him that you could like move these pebbles around and stretch him out. So it was really cool and just like really trustworthy in a way where I was just like, I didn't have to worry about him, because I also had another Stretch Armstrong after the big one exploded. I had this like other smaller action figure size one that I remember had like another rip in it, and I'd always just treat it like it was like some damaged little like bird with a broken wing. I'm just like, I can't even play with you because like you're damaged. But Vac Man was like, oh yeah, you can take the abuse. Like you can, you're ready to go for playtime. But Stretch Armstrong, he was just like an injured hospital patient. So that's just how I remember Vac Man. So I'm glad they brought back Vac Man as well. And I would imagine they've made some improvements to the stretching capabilities on Stretch himself. So this is a solid number 9 with all that being said.
Yeah, man. And it looks like the Vac Man here works similarly to how you're describing, where you kind of like pump him up a little bit, like you pump his head and then he like kind of he creates like a little vacuum inside of him. Not sure it's exactly the same, but they're at least doing something a little bit different with him. And I did see that they had like, you can get the original Stretch Armstrong looking guy. He's a little more expensive and he's a little bigger, but they have the classic Stretch and they have the classic X-Ray, which I imagine are as close to those original guys as you can get with modern, hopefully a little bit updated. But that's sweet, man, that they kind of revamped, and they've also included the original in there that you could just get if you want to.
Yeah. I feel like Stretch Armstrong, that brand has just been around. I mean, it's obviously been around since like 70s or 80s or whatever it was when those originals came out, but it's just been around. It's just been trucking. It's a brand that's been like trucking. It's never really caught like wildfire where, all the kids are just like, we gotta get the Stretch Armstrong at the store. It's always just been like, it's like the Rubik's Cube in that category where it's like everybody wants to mess with it, but nobody's ever just like, I gotta get all the Stretch Armstrongs. I've got to have him. I have to get him. It's never been a doorbuster. It's always just been like a slow and steady kind of brand.
That's a great way to put it. Like in the Rubik's Cube category, it's just like nobody's going to be mad at it, but nobody's going to be like clamoring for it. But
yeah,
that said, man, it's out. It's fresh. Had to put it on the list. Number 9, I think, is a nice safe spot. And the more I look at him, the more I think he's going to be ending up under our tree. Him, or maybe the Stitchy Boo Boo version, because my kids love Stitch. But I think I'm just going to go with old new guy here. And just see how they like him.
Yeah, dude. Do it.
All right, man. And that's number 9. Feeling fine. What we got for number 8?
All right, dude. Number 8. A brand that I have to admit I am not completely aware of what they have to offer, but LAKESHORE, never really heard of them before. And I say that where I'm just like, maybe we had a whole segment where we talked about this company before, and I just don't remember. But LAKESHORE, they are offering, or have been offering, a Royal Kingdom Adventure Castle playset. You know me, man. I don't need the fancy fidgets, electro gadgets, and oozits and whatsits and more, whatever else the Little Mermaid said. I don't need any of that when it comes to playtime. Just give me some things that resemble something else and let my imagination do the rest of the work. And that's what's being offered here. Just a nice playset for playtime. It is, as I described it in the title, it's the Royal Kingdom Adventure Castle. So it's a castle with a bunch of knights that are ready to defend the castle, king and a queen inside, and a wizard that counsels the king and queen. They're all just in the castle, ready to defend it from a dragon figure that is also included. Now, this all sounds pretty generic. If you don't have eyes on the link that I have provided, pull it up. Give yourself a look at it. Like, don't knock on this until you've seen it. I really think that this is just a good, solid playtime toy.
It's funny you put this on here because, yeah, we have, I don't know if we brought LAKESHORE onto the cast yet, but I'm pretty familiar because we get the magazine at least at the holidays. I think kind of even off holiday schedule, we get a LAKESHORE magazine, and we always kind of peruse it and look through it for stuff. They mainly focus around like simple learning toys. I think like it's mostly like learning and education based toys, but this one is like in the cover of the magazine. Like it's their big headliner is like, check out the castle. And I've kind of talked with my boys about it because I'm just like, you guys like this, and they like show no interest in the castle. But like, man, I had something just like this when I was a kid. I think it was Fisher Price, and not Lakeshore, but it was so similar. And to your point, like, just give me something simple like that I can just like pretend, and like, oh, there's like the little nooks and crannies of the castle where you can just like make little scenes and, you know, defend, and maybe the dragons, you know, eating this guy, and this guy has to come in. Like, I just love this kind of stuff. So I like, if it weren't for the rather high, I think it's a pretty high price point, right? On this
like
thing,
80 bucks.
80 bucks. 80 bucks. I mean, it's big though. Like, I'm more concerned about the space that it's going to take up in my house, but honestly, like, half considered it. Like, if they showed any interest in like, oh, look at that dragon, I'd be like, we're buying it. Like, we're getting it, because I want to relive that fun that I had when I was a kid, just playing with my generic pirate ship and my generic castle, man. I loved it.
Dude, that is so funny that you're feeling this. I was fully set to die on this hill defending this because I was fully anticipating you being like, this is lame.
No. No, man.
I was crossed between this and a couple of other things. I mean, ultimately, we're not going to get it just because exactly what you described. It's the space. It's kind of the price. I mean, price is, you know, it is what it is at this point in this day and age in 2025. But yeah, man, the possibilities of like what you could do with this, you know, you could add other toys to it as well. It doesn't have to just remain with what you have here. Like, you can add other things to it. Just really like that. It took me back to the days of, you know what? And I know what castle you're talking about. Yeah, it is Fisher Price something or else. I can't remember like what the toy line was, but I know exactly what castle you're talking about. I saw that like every single friend's, like, whenever I had play dates or whatever, I would see that castle. So, yeah, man, it harkens back to those days.
Just to talk Lakeshore, it's definitely on like more of an education, you know, side of things. But I'll kind of throw in an honorable mention. Lakeshore, they have an ATM machine. It's like a piggy bank, but it's like a real working ATM where you like put your coins in and it counts your coins, and you like deposit money, and you have like a little credit card, and it kind of keeps track with how much money you have in the bank. And then you can like pull it out of the bank, and it kind of keeps track of how much money you pulled out and everything. So it kind of teaches like money skills and stuff like that. My kids saw that and they were just like, I want that. Like, look at the ATM, how cool. And I was like, immediately like, that is pretty cool. Like, I would have loved something like that as a kid. I was a little disappointed to find out that it doesn't really like track your bills. So like, you can put $1 in, but you got to tell it like, oh, I put $1 in you. And then when you take your money out, you got to like tell it like, oh, I took like $10 out. Like, I took this much out. I was like, dude, how tight would that be if it like read your dollars and like actually, and then I looked up like actual like money ATM machines, and they're like tens of thousands of dollars, like that technology to like read bills and figure out like how much it actually is. But it does have the coin reader, which is cool. So it will tabulate your coins for you, but I was pretty let down when I figured that out. I was like, that's not nearly as cool as I thought it would be. But
does it have pennies in it?
Yeah, it's got the pennies. It's got a penny counter. It's one of many of those anymore, but it can count pennies.
Archaic technology at this point.
Yeah, man. But we like the Lakeshore magazine here in the Strick household. We read that one along with our Lego magazine and our Amazon catalog on the holidays. It's in the mix.
Cool. Well, if there's one critique I do have of this, other than the space and the price, it would be the Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, it's a little weak.
Well, it's weak, and also just like, why would we build a castle on top of a Dragon's Lair? Like, the Dragon's Lair is right next to the gate. It's structurally like integrated into the castle. Come on, man.
Maybe at some point he was working with the castle, and then he was turned somehow.
It's like a duplex situation where now their neighbors don't get along.
I mean, we don't know for sure that he's not. I mean, because it's a dragon castle, right? Like, they have dragon shields and everything, and dragon flags. I'm pretty sure the dragon's on their team, and then they're up against these green knights, the wolf knights. That's how I'm reading that.
Yeah, you know, I could get into that. I'd have to like rearrange my thought process here. But yeah, that sounds like something I could get on board with. Okay, yeah, so the dragon's the good guy. And then maybe
I think so.
Maybe the wizard's the bad guy.
I think the wizard's in cahoots. Not cahoots. He kind of works with the dragon. Like he's, and at least in the video, they show the dragon and they show like the wizard like right near him, trying to cast his spell. So maybe he's kind of controlling the dragon. I'm thinking they're working together.
They're probably okay. So I think they're working together from the inside, like out trying to take down the system. I think they both have the hots for the queen, and they're trying to like work together to get the queen away from the king.
I can see that, yeah, and they're kind of like they've got the green team like kind of working for them, but as like a shadow fleet, because they got the hots. The wizard's got the hots for the queen. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right, I can see that. I'm down with that storyline.
See, isn't this great, man? We don't even have the toy, and the juices are flowing. The imagination juices are just flowing. I love it.
Just more toys like this, dude. That's what I'm saying. Just simple. I know there's not even a lot of articulation going on in these guys. Like, when I kind of compare them to what I had, at least the guys I had back in the day, you could like whip their maces down and stuff. And I'd say that's my biggest critique is like not a lot of action features and no real like weaponry to speak of. Just a couple flags and a couple shields.
So yeah, man, Royal Kingdom Adventure Castle by Lakeshore, approved by STRICK. The Lakeshore brand approved by STRICK as well. So you know it's good.
The whole brand. I don't know if I could claim that, but they got some solid stuff. They do. They got solid stuff.
Cool, man. All right. Well, why don't we just, since we slayed that dragon, let's move on to number 7.
Dude. Number 7, and we're in heaven. Dreamhouse heaven or Barbie heaven. We're talking we got to get Barbie on the list always. Barbie Dreamhouse Dollhouse with 75 plus accessories and wheelchair accessible elevator, should say. Lights, sound, music. This is everything you could ever want, man. This is like the dream house of all dream houses. It's massive, as tall as your kid, huge. Like a little story here, we were in New York and we were at the good old tried and true FAO Schwartz. And we were just kind of, running around, and we saw the Barbie section, and we were like, the Barbie section, let's check it out. And they have like a big Barbie box you could stand in and get your picture, and we did that. And then you turn the corner, and they have this thing on display, man, like behind glass, but it's on display. And I was just shocked with how big it was in person. Like, I was like, who has the space for that thing? But man, I'd say my boys were pretty interested in it. My wife was like, "We're gonna own this thing one day." She was like convinced that this is gonna be in our home at some point. But yeah, man, what do you think of this Barbie Dream House?
I will say this is I believe the 12th Barbie Dream House that has been produced. So keep that in mind. This woman has had 12 dream houses. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, man. The dream never ends, I guess. She just can't make up her mind on what she wants.
The dream house has come a long way from, I believe, one of its earliest entries. It was an A-frame. I mean, that just doesn't, come on, that doesn't work.
Barbie in an A-frame? No way.
I've seen it in person before, like back when I was a kid, and I'm just like, this looks pretty lame to me, because like the dolls would sort of like have to be, like their head would be coming through the roof in some areas, because I mean it's an A-frame, so it just didn't make too much sense to me back then. But now they've worked out all the kinks. They know you need like a 3-story grand mansion. I don't even know would you say it's a mansion? I'd probably call it like an extravagant like bungalow type.
That's a good, yeah, extravagant bungalow. I think is good.
Yeah, with a bedroom that resembles kind of the feeling of being in the movie Spice World. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
In their on tour truck, that kind of it gives that a little bit. But yeah, man, the amenities are great. What she has to offer in here, a lot of it's in your face. Like, I just have money to spend, but at the same time, it flows. A lot of this works for me, especially the sliding board. The sliding board from the bedroom to the main ground floor is always essential.
That's a staple. I think that's where Barbie starts when she designs the home. It's like, okay, well, here's my bedroom, and then slide into the pool. That's
what we got so far.
And then the kitchen, we'll just throw that on the roof. Like, that's not too important. Let's just throw the kitchen up. Something's going on the roof. I'm not quite sure what's going on up there.
I think that's a karaoke area, pretty sure. And then
I see the party room, but what is going? That's karaoke there. It looks like an oven or something.
There's like a barbecue grill out up there, but in the
maybe that's it.
Yeah, the kitchen is at the bottom with the dining area. That's the kitchen. And the grassy pad at the bottom, that can also go on top for a rooftop party.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Where her pets go to the bathroom, we can assume, and use their mini slide.
Oh, yeah. Where else would they go? Absolutely. This kind of will go into the next pick as well, but doll furniture and things like that, like oversized Barbie furniture, it's always been funny to me because it has that element of just like being goofy, flimsy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whenever I see this, I'm always just like, yeah, I mean, this is nice, but functionally, I would imagine it's a little flimsy in some areas.
I can imagine. I mean, it was always maddening playing with Barbies with my sisters back in the day, like just how unposable they are. Like you gotta flip their legs like completely straight to sit them down.
Oh, they've come a long way. They have like ratchet legs
now. Their knees. Yeah, now their knees can I'm seeing that can kind of sit, so that's probably better. But that drove me nuts with the furniture. It's just like you kind of plop her on the couch and she just falls over. Yeah, that was always pretty frustrating.
But yeah, dude, this is a good pick. I'm liking getting Barbie on here.
Yeah, man, gotta have Barbie under the tree.
Should we cruise into the next segment?
Oh yeah, cruise on in.
Number 6. Dude, we are talking American Girl doll. And I know you're no stranger to American Girl doll. I feel like it's got to make the holiday cast. I don't know if they've ever made the holiday cast before.
I don't think so.
Raquel Reyes. That's our girl who we're talking about here. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of cheating in this selection. What's popping up in searches and on lists is not what I'm advertising here, because Raquel, the Girl of the Year. Raquel Reyes is the Girl of the Year 2026. So she is the it girl. She is the doll you're going to want to pick up. I mean 2025, I guess, but she will be the girl of the next year. So I guess we're getting a jump on it this Christmas. But she is available for purchase this year. That's not really what I'm talking about. If you go to the American Girl doll website and you look up, man, like Raquel, I gotta get Raquel. Like you just see her all over the place. So many links, so many things to click on, so many pictures advertising what's going on with Raquel. I mean, she's the Girl of the Year. Why wouldn't they be gussing everything up with Raquel? Like you got to know everything about her. But what they sort of just like weave and sneak in there, they just like so sneak this amazing looking whip that she sports. Raquel's Seaside car. Dude, I've linked to it. Have you seen her car that they just casually plop in there as if it was just like background nothing?
It's pretty sweet, man. That's a pretty sweet cruiser.
They made a car for an 18-inch doll. It's impressive looking. It's impressive in size and, what they've done with it. And I don't think it's new, like, in terms of just, like, getting a car put into the American Girl doll line. I'm sure there's been many cars, but, man, dude, what a visual splendor to look at. I mean, if I was getting dolls, man, I'd want them all to have cars like this. What are your thoughts?
It's funny you say that because we'll like hit up the toy aisles at Target and then we're walking down the doll aisle and the stuff that my son's gravitated towards is this stuff. It's just like the dolls like big cars or sometimes they have like camper trailers and they're just like, can we get this? And I'm like, no, dude, like it's just not the right size. Like they're trying to sit in it and fit in it. And I'm just like, that is not, it's for a big doll. And they just like, they don't get that concept. But this thing's sweet, man. She's even got her license plate, GOTY, Girl of the Year 2026 on that ride. So she knows what's up. She knows she's Girl of the Year. She's like, yo, I'm the hot new thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it comes complete with her tumbler as well, as every girl doll, I would imagine, comes with now. But
these days, yeah.
Yeah, the car comes with the tumbler and also a Frisbee, if she's going to get her frizz on.
And some suntan lotion, it should be said. You know, you always got to be safe out there.
Yes.
Practice safe sun play, you know.
They describe it as a robin's egg blue beach car that fits 2 dolls. That's mad. That's crazy. That's such a big toy. And it's an accessory. You know? I think
dude,
that's crazy.
This is the stuff. This is the stuff of my nightmares, man. Like, so I was about to share it in the last segment when we were talking to Barbie and we were at the store and saw the dream house, and my wife made the comment. But so the Strick, I don't think we shared on the Toy Talk Guys cast that the Strick household is expecting a baby girl, late March, early April. If timelines work out. So this is my future, man. This is the stuff that is going to be clogging up our house, is all these dolls and accessories. And my wife still has stuff from when she was a little girl, and it's all at my in-laws' house, and they're just like ready to unload it on us. And they're like, we got it all. It's coming. And yeah, man, I have no idea where it's going to live, but it's cool. Some of it's cool. I'll say that. This falls in that category of I'd enjoy playing with this for sure.
On behalf of all the Toy Talk Guys listeners, congratulations, man.
Thanks, dude.
It's an amazing time for you. I can't even comprehend how you're feeling, like the toy end of the situation, because it's just a whole new world you're going to be diving into, man.
Yeah, man.
That is exciting. I'm super pumped that, you're going to have more of an ear to the ground on these types of toys. You're going to be our on-site reporter for a lot of these girl toys that come on the cast, man. That's exciting.
Yeah, man. I'll be the resident expert for sure. I'll get all the skinny on this type of stuff. And yeah, man, for the Toy Talk Guys fans out there, some might have little girls or they're just interested in this stuff. So expect more content like this in the future, just with what I'm exposed to. Stick on this ride in particular.
Yeah.
I remember when my sisters had American Girl dolls and the accessories were the things that got me. I'm like, ooh, that is pretty cool. Like that's a pretty sweet bedroom set that you got going there. Like Molly was always my favorite. I thought she had the coolest stuff. And like, I could care less about the doll. I'm like, whatever, it doesn't have to be a doll in here. Just like, let me get the little foods and the little trinkets and the little, just like, let me set up the scene.
Yeah, dude.
I'm probably most interested in these kind of toys when it comes to like dolls and, baby dolls and stuff like that.
I would just also imagine as a young girl collecting these like American Girl dolls, this would be such a hard pass. Just imagine as a girl who's just like, I just want the dolls. What's the doll of the year? Like, I just want to collect the dolls, set the dolls up. I would imagine that this would just get overlooked. And, it's like speculative or collecting or speculative investing or whatever it is, but I would imagine, like, if you were to buy this, like, maybe down the line, you're cashing in.
Well, the price alone, like 275 bones, at least on the American Girl website. Not sure if it's ever on sale, but that's like Sans doll, right? That's like just the car. So yeah, I think the dolls are like, God, they're probably a couple $100 these days.
They are. They're under $200.
I think you're right there though. It's like, I don't know. I'd actually be curious to see the aftermarket for some of this stuff, like the American Girl stuff, to see if it really holds its value. I can see that it's a premium brand. So if any of the girl doll toy lines like Barbie and similar stuff like that, like it's marquee. So maybe you might be onto something.
I feel like I'm cheating in this section because the girl doll for me is sort of hum-ho, but man, just in case anybody is missing this little nugget. Dude, I feel like it might be a solid investment, but ultimately, if you're the uncle or the auntie of a niece or a nephew that collects the American Girl dolls and you want to be, the ultimate gift giver, here's the finishing touches if you know that they're getting Girl of the Year this Christmas. Here you go.
Solid number 6.
Well, let's head on over to number 5.
Number 5, bringing it in, rolling in with this big old, we've talked about this on the cast already, this yellow delivery truck, or you can just call it the Lego truck from the Lego company here, man. This thing is sitting at $100. We've definitely talked about it because I was considering buying it. I have bought it for this Christmas, and yeah, man, I'm excited to build this thing and just play with it. It's like everything that my sons love playing with in a truck. It's like the back's open, the side's open, there's interior stuff that you can do. You can load with a forklift, you can load pallets with the forklift. Like, I just see us playing with this thing as long as it stays together pretty well. Of all the Lego sets, I just felt like, this has got to be one of the most iconic of the year. It's retiring this year, I'm pretty sure, so it's your last chance to get it. I saw a couple good sales on Amazon. It was down to like $70, I want to say, on Amazon at one point. So, keep your eyes peeled. I know you talked about this before, but any fresh thoughts or rekindle some of your thoughts on this one, MOTYL?
No, I do think this is the third time that this is making the cast, which it is, I mean, deservedly so, because it is a solid entry. And I've made my thoughts and feelings known about semi-truck builds for Lego in general. I really do like them a lot. I think there's a lot of value, like play value there.
It's got a decent amount of like play features, moving parts, things that can open. Yeah, it's a nice, well-rounded. I mean, it's sitting at $100, so it ain't cheap, but a very nice, well-rounded set. Lots to do, lots to pretend, and like the little forklift and just lifting that in over and over again. Like, I could just see at least my youngest doing that for just hours and hours. Like, he's just the type who will just sit there with a toy for like a long period of time. And it's more intended for my older son, and him and I will probably put it together, but my younger son is going to quickly like just steal it and, claim it as his and just not put it down and not lose sight of it, because he's going to be so excited for it.
I am interested to see, once you have it built, like what are the inner lodgings like for his like little cabin that he has in his truck. I'm curious if there's like anything other than just like it's just like a little hole that you put him in.
Yeah, it looks like they got some kind of small builds going in there. Maybe like a little bed, maybe a little spot. I know he's got his little soda and his hot dog. Maybe he's watching a little TV in there. But yeah, I'm curious to see what that little section, the little nuggets that you might find in that section.
That's always been the most appealing thing for me. Like if I ever considered like being a truck driver, I'd always been like, man, that's so neat that you can just like, stop driving and just be like, all right, stopping here for the night. Let me get all my snackies and all my chippies.
Maybe get cozy.
Yeah,
get cozy in the back of my cab and just let a movie rip.
Oh, that's always so appealing to me. So I love that part.
Yeah, man. Here we are at number 5. I feel like Lego's always like rounding out the list right at number 5. So keeping that tradition alive. And this is the one. This is Strick's pick for the year of all the Lego sets that are out there. This is the one that I think you gotta snag and have under that Christmas list or Christmas tree for the year.
This is a good one to open on Christmas, man. Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah, dude.
Let's see what number 4 has cooking for us. All right, man. It wouldn't be a holiday cast if we didn't have Play-Doh on the list, man. Play-Doh had to make the list in some capacity. This entry, I've seen it on a number of lists, and something that we got to talk about, so let's break it down. The Play-Doh Super Slice Cake Playset. Yeah, man, we're baking Play-Doh cakes. It sounds like we probably have had similar playsets like this in the past, but here you go, man. You're rolling up balls, you're smushing them into an oven, and you're molding them into little tiny slices of cake, and then you're decorating it with your icing and flan.
I think it's fondant. Is the word you're looking for?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it's fondant. I don't know. Flan's like a different dessert, but yeah, man, this is looking cool. I'm always a big fan of Play-Doh. We're gonna have, I think, just like a classic buckets, just fresh tubes of Play-Doh this year is going to be under the tree. Nothing too crazy like this. We've already got like a number of these in the mix that, some get played with more than others. I could see this one getting played with a little bit more, just with that, like the little hand crank where you're like flattening out the dough. I wish we would get more of that in Play-Doh sets where it's just like, oh, okay, I'm getting this nice piece of equipment to just like do something new with my dough, just like flatten it out or like make it into like you get the other little like pusher tool where you're like making icing and stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff that I like to see, like good molds and good like tools to flatten stuff out. So I feel like you're getting that in spades here. And then there's the oven concept there. That's neat. That's interesting. I'm for it. I think it's a nice little set. I like this as our number 4 on the list.
Yeah, dude. I mean, all the things you said, and then on top of that, man, the price is right. I mean, it's on sale right now as we're recording this, $17.99 for the full play set, all the things included, and then 11 cans of dough. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's a pretty good deal. I mean, you're going to need the dough for this cake thing because it pretty much requires just smushing your dough together.
Not necessarily. I've thought this through.
Okay, talk to me.
Well, you don't need to mix all the Play-Doh together. I mean, you can, make a chocolate cake and just, shove 2 balls of cake down there and get your little triangle of cake, and then put your flan on there, or what is it called? Fondant.
Fondant. Yeah.
Fondant. your fondant
on there.
You have to excuse me. I haven't watched Is It Cake? Never seen an episode, so you're
Don't go back to Cake Boss, dude. Cake Boss,
Cake
and what was the other one? Ace of Cakes. Yeah, go all the way back to that show.
Yeah, so your terminology is more advanced than mine. Just get your standard chocolate cake or vanilla cake, and then put your fondant on there, and then pipe out some icing on top. There's no mashing and mixing needed. You can be very delicate and place everything on top. You don't have to mush it into it. You can be very delicate and then pick it all apart and then separate it into their respective cups.
You certainly could do it that way. Is that the way it'll be done? Most likely not. But yeah, it's true of any. I'm just ragging on this one, but that's true of any Play-Doh set. It kind of invites like, yeah, just smush that color on top of that color and nothing bad will happen. Like, don't worry about it. Save that worry for tomorrow when you got to open your tube back up and you got like multicolor mush Play-Doh.
Yeah, then it gets to that point where you're just like, all right, well, what goes into what jar? Are you pulling stuff apart? You're just mushing the mixed Play-Doh into like Play-Doh that hasn't been mushed, so you're ruining the other Play-Doh. Oh, what a mess. What a catastrophe. And I haven't even experienced it yet. Like, we are very much a household where it's like, okay, you're ready to play with the green Play-Doh? Are you all done with the green Play-Doh? Yeah, I want to play with the red Play-Doh now. It's like, all right, let's put all the green Play-Doh away. You play with the red Play-Doh.
Oh, wow. Good for you guys. That is some playtime heroics. No, it is straight up just like, here's all the Play-Doh, have at it. What are you gonna make? All right, we're mushing blue and green and purple together. Cool. Try to get it back in the tube. That's why we have fresh tubes under the tree this year, because we just need some fresh dough. I will plug really quick. There's like kinetic sand. There's like the kinetic sand.
Yeah, we have a bunch of it.
You got a bunch of that. I kind of prefer that stuff. This is blasphemy, but over Play-Doh for the reason that like you don't have to worry about the mixing. It's just like all one. At least most of them are just like all one color. It's more boring. I'll give you that. Like you got to use a lot more creativity, imagination,
and it's like double the price.
Oh yeah, it's not cheap. But I just feel like it holds up a little bit better over time because you're not worried about mushing and mashing, and we just have like, it's not kinetic sand, it's a different brand, but we end up playing with that a lot more than Play-Doh. And like with our Play-Doh sets, like a set like this, we'll just pull out and we'll just do kinetic sand instead. For all the reasons that we were just kind of talking about with mushing and mashing. It's just like, all right, we don't have to worry about it. Like it's just as long as the sand doesn't get too dirty, like it's going to last forever.
Well, that's your workaround then. Like my workaround is be as cheap as possible and buy as few jars of Play-Doh as possible. Your workaround is don't even use Play-Doh.
Yeah.
And Play-Doh's whole business model is, no, just don't worry about mixing and mashing. Just buy more Play-Doh. Don't worry about it. Use it up. That's their whole business model.
We're still succumb to that because we're we're buying a whole fresh set, which honestly, you're saying the price like $17.99. I feel like that's what we paid for just like 10 tubs of Play-Doh. So I feel like I should have just bought this set and thrown the oven away, and then just had nice fresh dough to be playing with.
Fun little catch here. I noticed that the sticker on the oven, it forever says 724. Did you notice that?
I'm seeing that.
Yeah, it's not digital. That's just a sticker. So I think 724 is just on every single oven that's out there. And I asked myself, I'm like, what is so special about 724? And I looked it up as a date. It's when one of the Apollos landed back down to Earth back in the 60s. It's when it touched back down to Earth. And then also, it's a Mormon holiday, from what I understand. And I was just like, I wonder if that's the significance. And then I saw it. I was just like, oh, wait, that's J-Lo's birthday. So that's got to be what it is.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe it was just whoever created it. It was their birthday, too. And they're just like, I'm going to just throw my birthday on there.
It's
like,
possible.
We need a time.
It's possible. Have you seen Anaconda, though? That's the thing.
I've seen it. Yeah. Enough said.
But yeah, dude, I thought this needed to get on there. Play-Doh's got to make its way on there, man. I mean, cake is just in the media now, man. Is it cake or will it cake? Whatever the cake shows you're watching on Netflix now. That's what
There's too many. There's too many cake shows.
That's what all the kiddies are into, dude. And Play-Doh's just cashing in. So
it's cashing on the cake frenzy.
So had to be at number 4 on our list. All right, dude. Heading into the number 3 spot.
Number 3, man, and we're getting serious here with these top 3, dude. We're not messing around like some of these lists do. We're getting straight to the biggies and the good stuff, man. Mm-hmm. And here we've got definitely something I've mentioned in the past. Not sure if we ever really like fully talked about it on the cast, but these are tried and true in the Strick household. I'm talking about, of course, the Nugget couch, man. Specifically the couch. They've got another little Nugget thing that you can get, but the couch is where it's at, dude. It's essentially just like little, not play foam, but it's essentially just like couch cushions that you can, configure into different shapes. You can make, a couch, you can make little forts. And yeah, dude, they're just like open-ended, fun, free play. Kids can jump on them. They can sleep on them. I've slept on one more than a couple times, and not too uncomfortable sleeping on one, but definitely more fun the more you have, because it's just fort building. I mean, we use them to like build a little indoor hockey rink in our basement. They just kind of make up the walls of the hockey rink, and then we're just playing kind of inside of it. So multi-purpose play all around. Had to put this one on here at somewhere on the list. 3 spot, I think it deserves it. Yeah, again, just like open-ended. You let your kids use your imagination. You yourself get tested to use your imagination with like your kid just like build a car, build a truck, and you're just like, all right, we're gonna see how this thing turns out.
We have something similar to this. It's not like Nugget brand, I don't think, but it's like shaped pillows like this, and they get a lot of use. I'll be honest. The boys love basically laying down the mats, and then they like swinging at each other with the triangle pieces, just like American Gladiator stuff. But they like setting it up like forts and things like that, which is what the whole concept is. And I think that's brilliant. I really just want to give it credit where credit's due, because that's growing up was me in the living room pulling all the couch cushions off the couch and then setting them up and laying a blanket over top of it. Like that's what I did. So them just realizing the concept of just being like, well, what if we just gave you the couch cushions and it was for kids? Like that's brilliant, because that's what kids wanted back in the day, and they can get inspired with them now. So
yeah, dude, it's one of those ideas where you're just like, man, why didn't I think of that? Because it's just so simple in concept and design, but it's just so genius. And like you said, it gets used a lot for like different things. It's just fun. Like we probably use them every day and play with them every day in very different ways, like building structures, building houses, building cars. Like I said, like kind of setting up like a little mini hockey rink in the basement. Yeah, man, they are a ton of fun. They come in lots of fun colors. We have 3 at the moment, 3 sets. And I'd actually consider picking up another one. I've kind of been eyeing up that like kind of Kelly Green one. Would just be a nice addition to the 3 that we currently have. Yeah, man, they're sweet little additions to any playroom, any kids space.
It's all the couch cushions, but none of the potato chip and crumbs and cat hair like that would come with the couch cushions. So it's a solid idea.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, I think solid number 3 right there on the list.
All right, dude. Number 2. Dude, I know just by looking at this, you can hear it from there. You've never been able to hear a picture so easily in your life that you've just clicked on. Yeah, dude. Furby's coming in at number 2. How iconic is Furby, man? That was under everybody's tree back in the 90s when it first came out. Furby, man, they're making a comeback. I don't know if they've been around. I know we had them on the cast a while back, and I wasn't impressed with it because it was like leaning more towards just like girls. What's the binder, like Scholastics brand that?
Oh, Lisa Frank.
Yeah, too Lisa Frank for my taste. Yeah. I really wasn't a fan, but I just like that Furby exists and is available to a whole nother generation. So the Furby we're talking about here, man, DJ Furby, that's what they're calling it, DJ Furby. For those that don't have eyes on it or are not familiar with the product, it looks like a Furby from head on, but it is actually like a Furby in, I guess, caterpillar form. Like, it is just a super long Furby.
Good way to put it.
The best way I could describe it would be picture Furby as the first stage evolution in Pokemon, and this would be the middle stage evolution of Furby if it were to evolve. Like, it got longer.
It's just getting big.
Yeah. The final evolution would be some, like, beast monster, a long beast monster with, like, 1,000,000 legs. But this is the middle stage, the War Turtle stage, if you will.
Can we go straight to Dratini Dragonair stage? Because that's the vibes it's giving.
That's even more fitting. Yes, wonderful. We're going with that. Dratini to Dragonair. With that in mind, you flip you get all the good interactive stuff with this Furby, but you flip it over, and on its belly is where the real fun starts, where it's basically just, it has a whole bunch of lights on its belly that you press and it makes noise. You can play games like light pattern games. And I've seen a few videos on this. It's hard to describe, but basically, like, you can make beats and like mix and match stuff. So I guess it makes sense calling it DJ Furby in that sense. But it sounds pretty cool. It's like you can add in like different like bass drops and percussion and stuff. And it makes it sound really cool, and it's pretty intuitive. It's a weird concept, is kind of what I'm getting at. But ultimately, I think it's attracting me. I don't know. What do you think about this?
I'm with you in that it's a little more interesting than a regular Furby. Like, I've never been super interested in Furby. It's a little bit of an extra element for me. I think my kids would like the DJ aspect. Like, they got a couple like music making DJ type toys, and they do like them a lot. So I think that benefits it. I just can't get over the weird shape of this thing. It's just so weird to me that it's got this big long body and a tail. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, dude. DJ Furby, the evolved form of Furby. That's what I'm getting from it.
That's a great way to look at it. It does have chill time. It's got chill time where you can just chill with calm music and soothing lights and yoga moves.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
That.
The lights just sort of like change from different colors, and it's just soothing music, chill time, like a Sunday drive kind of. So Furby, it's back in our lives, and that part I'm so happy. It's funny, I was watching, there are some videos where it's like comparing the 90s Furby to this Furby, and the movements are fluid on this one, and it's just funny listening to this one speak and move compared to the 90s Furby. Dude, the 90s Furby, I had no idea, like, I've forgotten how loud it was, not with the noises it's making, but with like the mechanics inside, it's just like grinding gears every time it's trying to like move its mouth and blink its eyes. Like it's just so overpowering to like the actual sounds you're supposed to be hearing. So that's an improvement. We've come a long way from the 90s Furby. This is kind of like a sensory pet, I guess, maybe. Like you can like sort of, hug him and go to sleep with this Furby. You couldn't really do that before with the other Furby. This is more suited for like cuddle time.
I'm picking that up. Yeah, a little glowwormish. Yeah. And you're just trying to be a lot of things at one time. I'm curious on the posability. It looks like when he's in belly time, he's still kind of like looking up and able to sit up a little bit. Like I'm just curious, like what it would be like to really hold, like how soft is his middle section versus like hard plastic, kind of covered by fur is the rest of them.
The reviews are in, and he's very cuddly. Like it's
okay.
Yeah, it's for that purpose. It's just a crazy concept where I'm just like, I feel like I'm looking at a whole bunch of ideas where they were just like, we don't really know where we're going with this, but we've ended up here.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely see that. We're just like, all right, well, someone at some point was like, how about we just make it super long? and then nobody said no. Like that one got through. That's what it feels like. And they're just like, all right, well, now we got this thing.
If you guys want to brush up on your Furbish, pick up DJ Furby. Put him under the tree, man. It's a good, solid gift.
Solid number 2.
All right, dude. Let's let him have it, man. What everybody came for. Number 1.
Everybody came for. Get excited. Number 1. We've got the Yoto player, dude. The Yoto player. I know what you're thinking. Snore. Who wants this thing, man? Who's getting excited about this? Let me tell you, man, as a parent, this thing is a godsend, this little Yoto player. This has been a long time staple in the Strick household. I'll talk about what we're getting. There's actually 2 versions of this thing you can buy. You can buy a Yoto player or a Yoto mini, and they're doing the same thing. They're essentially like a modern day tape player, except the tapes are these little cards. They're the size of credit cards, and you just plop that little credit card into the top of your player, and it just plays for you. It plays like a CD or like a tape. It's like physical media, kind of in the most modern form that you can have it. And there's a bunch of other features on there. There's like a daily podcast that you can listen to, and just like other fun stuff you can do. But it's mostly about like getting the player and then just like getting a whole library of cards. And they've got music cards and they've got book cards and, just like different stories and podcasts and stuff like that. And the thing that my kids love and what I totally recommend it for are not so much the music. I mean, the music's fun. It's cool to just have like a little card and throw it in there and be able to throw it in there. But dude, the stories, like the book on tape, and they can just like grab one and just throw it in there, and they can put their headphones on. Like no lie, last night, like me and my wife we just had a long day. We were stuck inside with the boys all day, and we were like, can you guys just figure out something to do? Like we're just like so exhausted, and we didn't want them really sit in front of the TV, so we were like, here, just listen to your Yoto, and like they couldn't agree on what to listen to, so we were like, just pop your headphones on. Like we have a Yoto full size and we have a Yoto mini player, and both of them do like the same thing, same kind of output when you have the headphones on. But we were just like headphones on, and the 2 of them were just like silent, listening.
Nice.
On their headphones, which is just so rare, when you have young kids. It's just like pure silence, and like they're not watching the TV or messing around the tablet, and they're just listening to like Paw Patrol story and Spidey story, and they're loving life like 2 old men just kind of like sitting there listening to their audiobooks, so it's I can't praise this thing enough for just like the simplicity, how well it works. We've been very happy with ours, and I think it's a great gift for like kids of all ages, man. You can start with this thing from a very young age and go all the way up, into an older kid, like even a teen, could probably enjoy this, which is like audio books, assuming they don't have like a phone or something like that at this point. But there is something called a Tony box that is similar, that has little figures that you put on top instead of the cards. And we had looked at that, and it's interesting. Sometimes my kids see those and they're like, oh, what's that? And we're like, yeah, it's a Tony box. Like it's the other version. I just love the card aspect. Like it's just nice, simple. They're all the same. It's easy to store. They have little card cases, and we have like, dude, when I say like over 100 of these cards, we got over 100 of these cards. Like we have so many of them, but they're small, and I don't care. Like I'll have 1,000 of them if it means like something easy for my kid to grab to entertain himself. That's not TV. That was a lot to say about it, but it's the number one, man. So gotta hype it up. Gotta talk it up. It's I think it's a good one. What are you feeling on it?
Yeah, just to clarify, I wasn't aware of this existing until you brought it to my attention. And then on top of that, we do have a Tomy box for them for Christmas. So we are getting into that world this year. So I will let you know how that goes.
Nice, man.
But yeah, we definitely we're thinking the same things that you're thinking, where it's just like, man, I mean, it's not like we let them sit in front of the TV. We don't do that. But when you're trying to get like dinner together, like the TV will go on, like if they're roughhousing, like just to get them to settle down for just like 30 minutes so we can like get something accomplished. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for something to fill that time with. So we're hoping that little box can help us out. With this, I was reading into it. The only thing I don't think I'm a huge fan of is it's app-based, isn't it? Doesn't it? It requires an internet connection, right?
I don't think so. To do certain things, yes, but to just like use it and use the cards, I don't think you need an internet connection.
Oh, sweet. So you can just like you can buy a stack of cards and just like plug them in and they're ready to go?
Yeah. Like it has the content preloaded and it's just going to jump on and play it.
Oh, well then that's tight. Yeah, dude. This is awesome. I'm digging this.
But like speaking of some of the other features and the internet aspect of it, you can, if you want, there's like make your own cards. And you could just throw on there like a podcast feed, or you could throw on there like just recordings. Like we've made like kind of playlists of our son's favorite songs and put it on a card and just kind of like, doodle it up and made it look special for him. But he has like basically a card from like when he was 2 and when he was 3 of just the songs that he loved to listen to. And it's almost like having a mix CD. Like you go back and you play it and you're like, oh, remember these songs? Like, oh, this is what we were listening to. Like, it's just such a blast from the past. We've even done like recordings of our loved ones like reading stories and put them on a couple cards. So like it's cool. Like it can extend beyond, just as simple as like, oh, it's music and it's, some stories. Like it's got some legs to, really, really entertain some kids for a long period of time.
That's cool, man. I was going to say, I'm going to pick this one up and I'm just going to make both my kids listen to all of our podcast episodes on this one.
Yes, dude. You could do it. You could set up a card like that. If you wanted to be so cruel to your children, you could do that.
Oh, man. We're not even trying to be funny on this entry. That's just a solid choice for the number one pick in this holiday cast.
Yeah, man. I don't have many knocks against it. It's a pretty solid gift here, and we already have the player and the one, and that's cool. You're getting the Tony box. Like like the concept itself is great. Whether it's in the Yoto form or the Tony box form, and I imagine you're going to be pleased with how much of those moments you can eat up with this thing of I need my kid to be engaged with something that's not TV. Hopefully listening in on something a little educational. It's like a story, even if it's just like. My one son is so into Paw Patrol at the moment, and they have like all the Paw Patrol stories and stuff, and that's what he's been like every night. He's just like, I'm gonna listen to my Paw Patrol stories, and this is like my 3-year-old, and he's just like hunkering down. He's got, quick aside, we got a new Christmas tree this year, and they came in a huge box, and like all kids, they love the box, so we haven't been able to throw the box away yet, even though we've had the tree for like 2 weeks, and the box is just taking up space in our living room, but it's become just like the hideout or just a little like headquarters for my youngest son. And I'll come home from work and I'm just like, where is he? Like, where's he at? And my wife's just like, he's in the box. And he's got the lid closed and he's just laying in this thing, just kind of like rubbing his tummy, and he's in there with his Yoto player with his headphones on, just listening to his tracks, just like a little old man. just sitting enjoying himself, like nodding his feet and stuff. And I'm just like, what are you doing in there? And he just like giggles when I pop the lid open. He's just like, I'm in my box. Like, anyway, that was a little aside, but it's just like a sweet, timeless classic, toy to give your kid and just get years and years of enjoyment out of. So highly recommend. Couldn't think of a better top one for this year. Man, that's it, dude. I can't believe we went 10-1 that quick.
Solid list this year. 2025, man.
Are we ready for the collection updates? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Let's get into the collection update. The last collection updates for the year 2025.
So I've been dripping and feeding, some of the things as we've been going through that are either going to be under the tree or under the tree we've gotten already. The one thing I got to throw on here that we want to talk about, and then I just want to do a brief update on Lego collecting in general. Dude, this Bruder Mac granite recovery and towing truck with lights and sounds, man. This thing, I don't know how it ended up on my youngest son's list or just idea. He saw it somewhere, and now anytime we run into Santa or Santa's brought up, he's just like, big blue tow truck. Am I getting big blue tow truck? It's all he wants to talk about. And it's cool. It's purchased. It's going to be under the tree for sure. And it's mostly just massive and expensive. And I'm not super thrilled that it was so sought after from him, because it meant we like definitely had to get it. Yeah, man, this thing is going to be in the Strick household, dude. Another big old truck entering the Strick household. You got eyes on this boy?
Yeah, dude, your description kind of just doesn't do it justice for all those listening at home or in the car. It is a massive truck, and dare I say, I'm like scared of it. It makes me question my masculinity. Like, it's intimidating. It's a down to business truck. Like there's no mincing words. It's like, this is a truck. Like, deal with me. Like, it is big. So this is the truck of trucks, man.
It makes a statement, and just that shiny. I mean, we got that robin egg blue again. After talking about it in what's Raquel's vehicle. You got that same look here with that sweet red toe on the back. Just like the color combo's looking nice and splashy. And we've watched the video of it like 100 times, and each time they show it, pretty much any Bruder truck that's made, it can tow. As long as you got the right hookup, it can tow it. So when we watch, my youngest son is just like, we've got that truck, we can tow that one. Oh, we don't have that truck, can't tow that one. Oh, we got that truck, we could tow that one. And it was just like, that sequence, he just loves. And the idea, I'm mostly just like, is he going to get this thing and just be so underwhelmed and upset that it's like not as cool as what he's got it hyped up to be? Because it's a little bit of my fear, is that he's gonna get this thing and just be like, oh, it's not that cool. Like, it's not. But yeah, he's very hype on it, very stoked, and this will be for sure like his big gift of the Christmas season.
I feel like this is one of those toys that might just get passed down from generation to generation. Because it's such good quality. It's so big. It's going to take a beating.
I'm just like, this is one of the things, I'm so excited to get rid of these Bruder trucks when they outgrow these things, man. Because they are just so big and massive and take up so much space. And we got so many of them that I'm just counting the days till they're over this stuff. I mean, I'm say that half-heartedly. Like, I'm obviously going to be super upset when they
You were so hyped on these on multiple casts.
The toy phase, but dude, I mean, don't get like, we're buying it, like, it's cool. I'm loving that he's into it, but at the same time, I'm like, where's this gonna fit? Like, what do we got to get rid of in order to fit this thing in the household? Like, it's just at that point. Speaking of which, I want to transition real quick into just Lego collecting in general and where I'm at. We've been talking, me and you, over the years, and I've definitely mentioned, like, got to pare down, got to kind of cut back on what I've been collecting. I've just kind of had this, like, kick lately where I'm just like, I don't know what Lego's doing. They're just like throwing everything under the sun out there in terms of products, and I'm just like, this stuff can't continue. Like they can't keep doing this. So I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm going back to basics. I'm voting with my dollars in terms of like what I want them to keep focusing on. So I've pretty much whittled my collecting down to stuff from my sons. So like mostly Lego City stuff, might bleed into another few categories, but like stuff like the delivery truck, like mostly trucks and vehicles in Lego form is what I'm after. And then for me, you know, just from my collection, I'm going to continue the modular buildings as long as they're not like the one next year. I don't know. I'm like, they're kind of on the fence, like if I want to keep doing them because they're big and they're expensive. But the one for sure that I'm going to keep, and I was kind of encouraged by this holiday season, is the Winter Village series. So we talked about the train at the top of the cast. I'm definitely going to pick that one up. I kind of picked up one that I missed out on, and I bought it secondhand for myself on eBay. That was the Santa's Post Office. It like just retired, and I kind of missed it. But I feel the best about collecting those. Like those are the things for sure I'll keep collecting, just because it's like the time of the season. You know, Christmas comes around, you can kind of like be a kid again. And I don't know. I was just like, I was putting some of my old Lego together, and like the boys are into it, and they're just like, oh, what else do we have? Like they're getting all excited about some of the sets that I've like, dude, I've bought like every Winter Village series set. And probably half of them are still in boxes. Like I've never even like taken them out and built them. So I'm making that like a new tradition this year, is like, you know, take out as much Lego as possible in the Winter Village series and build it and like have it on display and stuff. So that's it, man. In terms of Lego, like that's what I'm down to. Like not a lot of minifig collecting anymore. No Star Wars collecting anymore. It's bare bones, dude. It's like 2 sets for myself a year, and then stuff for the boys, and that's it. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, but are you investing, or is that just personal collection?
No, dude. No. I'm like, and I want to make a video on this, and it's definitely like first on my 2026 video list, is just like how I'm getting out of the investing game, and how I think it's like, it's all just going to go belly up. Like all a lot of just there's just too much product, dude. There's just too much of a volume for like, I think there'll still be money to be made, but like, in terms of just like your time and your effort, I'm pretty much just completely off it as a legitimate thing to be doing, and to make money like you could back in the day when there was far less product, and just like where the economy, like the U.S. economy and the world economy is at. It's just like, this is the first stuff that people cut out, is just like toys for themselves, you know, like adult grown up toys is got to be the first stuff that's going to get whacked out of budget. So, and we talked about it last cast. Like I'm already feeling that on the reselling and just the eBay prices of stuff. I'm just like, no, stuff is just falling. Like it's more reasonable. Vintage stuff's more reasonable. Used stuff's more reasonable than it used to be. So, yeah, man, I'm out of that game.
Man, dude. I'm sure that's probably that's a bombshell for a bunch of our listeners, man. I would imagine a lot of those people make up a lot of our listener base.
Yeah, that's kind of why I want to get that content out and just be like, yeah, I'm like not, you know, I'd still make the like videos that I've been making on like what's retiring and what would be good to pick up, because it's probably gonna be more expensive and stuff, because that just helps everybody out, you know, what you can kind of wait on and stuff. But the full on like buy multiples, buy all this stuff, like I'm just over it, dude. I've been over it for a while, but now I'm just like so convinced that it's like it's not the game to be in anymore, and you're probably just gonna end up losing your shirt like over the next couple of years.
Wow, doesn't Lego still like pay, you know, good attention to the secondary market though? Like in terms of what they're gonna do next, do they kind of like poop in the bed and laying an egg in that area?
I mean, they bought Bricklink, which is like just the top secondary market for Lego. So they're definitely paying attention to like, oh, hey, Lego is a huge secondary market and we should probably like do something about it, like be involved. But nah, man, their approach is just like let's create as much product as humanly possible and put it out there in the world in like every niche little thing that I'm just like, and it's so expensive. There's like, I don't want to get too deep into it here because I do want to make a video about it, but I did a little analysis, and just the number of sets that are over $200 has just ballooned in like the past 10 years. And they're all like, targeted at adults. And it's like, it's very clear when they made this push for like, oh, well, adults are going to buy this stuff. Like, let's just milk that for all we can. And I think they've just reached a peak where it's like, I mean, I feel this. I'm like, I don't need more Lego, dude. I've got way too much, and I'm a huge enthusiast, and I have way too much Lego. And I have to imagine most people sitting, on a big stash of stuff they bought over like the COVID years and just gotten into like building Lego. They're just like, man, I got a lot of product here, and I don't need all this. Like, either I don't have a kid, or I do have a kid, but they're not interested in any of this stuff, or they won't be for a long time. Like, I have to imagine that like when times really get tough for people and they're just looking at this bunch of stuff sitting around the house, they're like, let me try to offload this. And I think that's just going to be doomsday for the aftermarket. Like, you're just going to see a flood of product and not high demand for it, and you're going to be pretty hard pressed to get rid of your stuff. Is my not financial advice. I'll put that out there, but it's just my gut thinking on what's going to happen to not just Lego, but just like, collectibles in general. I think it's going to be hard times for the next several years.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah. It's what you want to hear as toy enthusiasts and toy. But I mean, write in, man. Like, hopefully, if you totally disagree, I'd be curious to hear your take. But that is just that's my hot take. That's what I feel in my bones. Just like we're in for hard times ahead, and toy collecting and stuff is going to fall to the wayside. And we've kind of talked about in this past, like me and you, like sometimes that's the best stuff to get, like the years when it's like people are falling out of it and falling out of favor and falling out of love. It's like, oh, that ends up being some of the most collectible stuff long term. So like I still believe that there are like nuggets and good sets like the Modular Building series and the Christmas Village series that like hold value, have held value, probably will continue to hold value, but like just the like multiple $200 plus sets that are like the Home Alone house and stuff like that. I'm just like, who is that for? Who's going to buy that in the long run? Like, how many buyers are there really going to be for that? Such a massive set, especially in like a down market. Like, forget it, dude. Like, there's so many of those just like traps now in Lego that I'm pretty off it. Anyway, that was long way of me talking about my Lego collecting and what's happening, but just wanted to update you and everybody else on the cast.
Gotcha. Well, let me move on to my collection update. I did try to stay in theme for the holiday cast, so it's not the craziest collection update, but it's one that I feel is worth bringing on. So let me set the stage for you here, Strick, and all of our listeners. So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms? I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist. They do exist. Santa?
Dude, bravo, man. Perfect performance.
Thank you. Yes, all three characters. I played myself there. So
wait, that was all you? That was all you there?
Can you believe it?
It's hard to believe.
So yeah, for those who still don't know, we're talking M&M's candy. M&M's, man, the most iconic holiday candy commercial that there is and ever will be, I'm sure. I recently picked up a M&M train car in a random lot of vintage toys that I purchased and had planned on reselling. And I was just like, wait a minute, hold on. I know that card. I actually have a couple of M&M's toys that are mixed in with our Christmas stuff, which got me to thinking. I'm just like, everybody's got to have like M&M stuff, Christmas stuff, like in their Christmas decorations box. I feel like that's like mixed into like everybody's Christmas stuff. Somebody's got to have like a vintage M&M ornament or some little, POS figure that just goes with your Christmas stuff. M&Ms, man, they're so iconic, but nobody cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Anyway, just to tie back to how I got here. Yeah, I got this little train car, and I was like, wait a minute, I have another little train car that's exactly like this, that's mixed in with all my other Christmas stuff. I have the yellow train car. If anybody's clicking on the link, it's like a train that 4-piece train set that has an M&M sitting on top of each of the train cars. And I have the yellow one that's sitting on a train car, and it, like, as it moves, the guy moves his hand up and down, waving. And I recently got the blue guy that's sort of just like laying down. He sort of like rocks back and forth. So now I have 2 of these cars that I didn't even mean to pick up. It was just incidental. And I'm just like, man, I guess I got to go for like the whole set. So I'm in the market for the other 2 cars, which is the red guy sitting on the engine and the sexy green M&M sitting on the other coal car. What are your thoughts before I go on?
You got to get the engine, man. You got to get that engine to complete that train. Yeah, dude, these are cool. So I might have missed it. You were saying that these were just little toys that you could get, or were these like part of a promotion of some kind?
Yeah, isn't that fun? I have no idea. I'm pretty sure you could just buy them in the store. I don't think these were like at McDonald's or something like that.
They scream McDonald's premiums to me.
I'm pretty sure they were just like, in a box at a Walgreens where you could just grab them next to the candy, something like that. I feel like that's a lot of this M&M merchandise that you see out there. It's just like, where on earth did that come from?
Yeah.
It's like, was it just like, did it come with candy? Like, if it's like, these aren't dispensers, these are just like toys. So it's like, maybe it was packaged with candy originally. Who can know? Some of the other M&M's items that I have are, I think, candy toppers. Like, I know 2 of them are things that originally, I think, sat on top of like tubes of candy. You know what I mean? Like clear tubes that you could just like see the candy that you have, and you pop the little character off of it and, get the candy out. But this train's been sitting in there and I don't have cars to go with it. So finally, recently picked up that other car, and I'm just like, man, maybe I got to go for that whole set. Wanted to get these on here. I feel like M&Ms, man, they're kind of synonymous with Christmas now because of that commercial. That's just like cemented into all of our brains if you grew up in the 90s, because they still play that commercial to this day. See it every year.
I feel like a lot of the candy brands, like, they lean into like Halloween. They're just like, yeah, we're like the top biller at Halloween, but M&Ms are just like, dude, we know it's Christmas time. We know that's our spot. Like, just ending up in every stocking.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
You gotta have that tube of M&Ms in the stocking, shaped like a candy cane.
Yeah, and it's got to be filled with red and green M&Ms, which I now realize sitting here, I'm just like, man, those are the 2 M&Ms that I don't have. I only have the yellow and the blue. I mean, I got to get the red and the green, man. Those tasted and hit different on the holidays when you were a kid.
Yeah, they did.
Just red and green, man.
Just knowing you were eating Christmas, you were just like, dude, I'm basically just downing Christmas joy at this moment.
Yes. Now, down to business here, Strick. I'll be honest with you. I've tried to do some research on the other 2 missing train pieces that I need to acquire. I can't completely decide what the action feature is on these. I think I have the red one figured out. I've seen there's a couple of videos online that I've been able to surface for this, and I'm pretty sure the red kind of like rocks back and forth. So that's nothing crazy. The green, I've seen a couple of videos and I can't really decipher a particular movement. And what I'm kind of landing on is that she kind of like flutters her eyelids a little bit.
That's I'm like watching a video. I'm trying to pick it out. I'm even trying to get. It does look like the red one, is rocking a little bit, although the person holding it is kind of holding him.
Yeah,
but it looks like he rocks, and then I can't see any movement on the green one. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's her flashing her eyelashes, because the green M&M has always just been so sexy, so appealing. And then, the brown M&M has in recent years come to be, which it's always just been the sexy green M&M, and now you've got the sexy brown M&M with the glasses. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I don't know if I would call her like the sexy brown M&M. Would you? Are they going for sexy there?
She's like book smart sexy.
Yeah, I thought she was like girl next door, like serious, like
take off your glasses and let me look at you,
and then realize how sexy you are. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
I have to agree that they would just like put that kind of feature on this one just to make her even more appealing. Batting her eyes at you, making those Nala eyes.
Maybe they thought like she was so appealing that like everyone would just be staring at her, so they gave the rest of the guys action features or movements to just like try to even the playing field, because everyone's just gonna be staring at her motionless silhouette.
You might be onto something. That's probably why it's not documented anywhere on the internet, because people just forget. They just don't even pick up on it because they're just like, they're so distracted by all the guys rocking back and forth that they're just like, well, yeah, she's obviously doing something too, but I can't clock it because she's so sexy.
She's just playing tricks on your mind, you know? She's just like, you think she's moving just because of the way they have her laid out there, you know?
Yeah, dude, you're onto something. I'll have to track her
I think I
down.
am. Definitely. Oh my gosh. And when you do, let me know. Let me know what the feature is.
I have to test that hypothesis. So, yeah, man. I felt like this would have been something to, you know, round out the cast with, because I feel like everybody's out there who celebrates Christmas has got some piece of M&M junk in their Christmas display somewhere, hanging on the tree, sitting on the mantle. Something sitting in your house, M&M Christmas themed.
I know we do. we got at least one ornament, probably two.
Well, there you go. I think that's gonna do it for us, man. Rounding out this year, dude, of 2025 Toy Talk guys, man. Another year in the books. Crazy.
It is crazy. Another year on to 2026. We're gonna keep the cast going, keep it alive, and again, just want to end the show with how much we appreciate you guys as the listeners. It keeps us going, like just watching the numbers and watching how much you guys listen and just how the community's grown over the years. So just appreciate you guys so much, and hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday and a very happy new year from the Toy Talk guys.
STRICK and MOTYL, they're just talking toys. It's the holiday cast and they're just talking toys. 'Cause